Now, democracy is a form of government based upon the principle of majority rule, period. End of discussion. Now, that's not very complicated. Majority rule. It's easy to understand, easy to sell to the masses, and I might add, deadly. For example, what would you call a lynch mob? That's majority rule. There's only one dissenting vote, and he's at the end of the rope. Now, that's pure democracy in action. But wait a minute, you say. The majority should rule, yes, but not to the extent of destroying the rights of the minority. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are no longer describing a democracy. We are speaking of a republic. A republic is a limited democracy. It's a form of government based upon the principle of limited majority rule. Limited so that the minority, even a minority of one, can be protected against the whims and passions of the majority. And how do you protect the minority from the majority? You write down a set of rules on a piece of paper. You say, this we can do, that we cannot. At the top of the paper, you write the word Constitution. And then everyone agrees to follow the rules no matter what the temptation. And when you're finished, you've created a constitutional republic. Notice that the entire function of our Bill of Rights is to spell out in detail the many ways in which the majority, acting through government, must not be allowed to infringe on the rights of the minority. The First Amendment sets the pace with the words, Congress shall pass no law. And then the document proceeds to explain that Congress, even though it expresses the will of the majority, shall not deny the minority the right of free exercise of religion, freedom of speech, peaceful assembly, the right to bear arms, and others. Congress shall not. The majority shall not. This is the meaning of a republic.
King me!
King me!
King me!
You can't always tell everything that's going on right up front, because if you tell everything that's going on right up front, then your enemy is going to know exactly what you're doing.
I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing.
So yeah, we have a bigger issue than just Democrats. We have an issue of the American indoctrinated people that just let things like this go. It's been happening for years and years and years, and frankly, I'm sick of it. And so I'm just telling you, they're telling you, and they've been telling you this stuff in front of your face for a really long time.
Our own government working against us. I mean, we've always had the government working against us. We just didn't know it. How is everybody today? It's Tiara Takeover Day. That's what I'm calling it, because I crowned myself. Not like Mendani, though. Okay? I just have a kingdom of one. Just saying. Because the Constitution is for one person, is it not? Yes, it is. So I have a kingdom of one. We have Malibu Dallas on the show again today, so it's going to be pretty fun. Want to say hello to some people. We've got Linda Dubois, hello, and Richard Reeves and Techno Mag. Aren't you in Chicago? I think you are. Yeah, Maria, it's nice to see you back again. And let's see, I've got some other people here. His Highness. I hope you're wearing a crown today. Ethan Elkins, haven't seen you for a while. Nice to see you too. Karen is over there on Rumble. And I think I've got another couple of people over there on Rumble as well that I know who they are. Jonathan, how are you? Jonathan Shannon. Nice to see you. Bella, how are you? You love this tiara, do you? Well, thank you very much. We got Mrs. Green. Who else is over there? John? I didn't know it was a formal occasion. Well, just so you know, I have a t-shirt on. Okay. Just saying. Jamie, how are you today too? Yeah, I've got my t-shirt on, so it is what it is. All right, guys. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Chicago. All right, just checking, making sure. All right. So, yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on today. Dallas, where are you? Let's see. Here, where? Oh, there you are.
Hello.
There you go.
Hello.
Isn't it a crazy week?
I don't think I've slept this week. It's so crazy. Like it's just one thing after another.
I know. And in fact, I was like, I don't even know what to talk about today because there's so many things. It's like, how do you narrow it down? So I figured we would talk about just kind of an overall thing. And I know you brought a video with you today, which we're going to show them as well. But the tyranny is getting to be over the top. I mean, just in every aspect of our lives. So we're going to talk about that. Good news. Nancy Pelosi has decided to hang up her tiara. She crowned herself.
Only after 60 years.
I know. But the problem that what I'm worried about is every single time they rotate, because they're like interchangeable heads, like, put I know. Every time I think of that, it's like interchangeable heads. And so there's probably just going to be a younger version of her that they're going to install.
It's like having a potato head. Remember the potato head? You could just interchange out the pieces. Every single piece that you're grabbing from is from the corrupt pile, and you guys don't care about the citizens, the good people who are paying your taxes. You're just picking as you want them.
Exactly. So I think that's what's going on here today. That's a long waited for. Oh yeah, for sure. Hail all Queen April. That's funny. How dare you? You're Nazi. Oh my gosh. Such crazy. But you know what? Hey, if I can't wear my tiara over to the White House yet, I'll wear it now. Okay.
I think I'm going to have to get one. I'll go to Amazon and order mine and then we'll go. We got to go to that ball.
Everyone on Friday needs to wear their tiaras at the tiara takeover. Just saying. Okay.
No kings. Well,
yes.
We can have queens, though. We'll have queens.
There. Well, everybody knows women rule anyway. I mean, come on. Isn't that true? I mean, don't husbands usually do what their wives say?
There was a joke I heard not too long ago. It was like, what women rule all states, but somebody said, yeah, but the state is the state of delusion.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, what?
Well, that's all of Congress. Speaking of Congress, the big headline today is the filibuster deal. Okay, so the filibuster, in case somebody doesn't know, is when one of these ridiculous people stand up and just talk for a long, long time. I mean, I don't know if you remember, Ted Cruz took out green eggs and ham and started, reading that.
Wow, I'm sorry, I did not see that, but that's
yeah, that was a long time ago. I mean, that was like what, 4 years ago, something like that. I think it was.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah,
I thought you were talking about recently. I'm like, I didn't.
No.
I don't have to go look at that.
The most recent filibuster person was Cory Booker. She says, Karen says, is it true that Mamdani did not get sworn in because he would not swear to uphold the Constitution? Well, here's the thing with that. It's not his inauguration day yet. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't think that Mamdani is going to have a problem standing up there in line. I just really can't see that. I think he would be more than happy to have the book of the covers of the Bible over his Quran and pretend that it's a Bible and swear an oath to whatever, because he's already lying to begin with.
Well, that's okay. So here's the thing. Excuse me. Bringing up lying. In the Muslim world, in the Quran, it literally tells you that you can lie and deceive as long as it's pushing the agenda of the Muslim way or of right. So Mamdani, or how do you say his name? I can't even pronounce this idiot's name.
Mamdani.
Okay. So
Mamdani.
He's done everything he's told is what the Quran is telling people to do. He's lying. He's misrepresenting his intentions. Why? because once he gets into office, he's just going to flip it around
which
and
he's already
push the
doing.
Muslim agenda. He's already
You
doing
know
it.
what's so funny? Okay, so I saw two things. I saw one with Don Lemon and one with, I think it was an MSNBC person, which is like the toilet of the internet.
Flush
It's like
that one.
if you're in news, okay, which I was at ABC, you know that if you're on MSNBC, even if it's the national platform, you are literally in the toilet.
Right.
But
Kim said it. It's pronounced
oh
tequila.
Tequila. Yeah. So I saw two interviews. One was it Don Lemon? No, it wasn't Don Lemon. It was the other guy. Oh boy, I can't think of his name offhand, but he's just another black commentator who's not like Don Lemon. He's got a little bit of sense in his head every now and then. Anyway, they were shocked at Mom Donnie's acceptance speech. No, it's not Stephen Smith. It's you guys will say it and I'll know it. I think he's on CNN. Man, it's like on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, they were saying that they were surprised about his speech. And I thought, why are you surprised? He's already told you who he was.
Right.
Van Jones. Bing, bing, bing. Okay.
It's not like he was. It's not like he was hiding anything.
I know. I have my bell. That's for Jonathan. Just so you know. my button is gone. Hi Judy over there on Rumble, and John also saw you guys come in. Van Jones it was, and they were saying that they just couldn't believe how he changed so quickly. I thought, how could you not know?
Did you like? He was campaigning on. He had a whole bunch of people donating money, right, for his campaign and all this other stuff. He then said, "Stop donating. I don't want all your money. We're gonna do this. We got this in the bag. I don't want your money."
Exactly.
And then the very day he wins the election, or the next day, he comes on camera and says, "Hey, remember when I told you not to send money?
Yeah. Can you
Give
please
us your
send
money.
some money now?" Yeah, I saw that whole thing and I was like, what? Are you kidding me? I thought you could do everything for free. I thought that you were able to do all the things you want to do for free. Now it's like, who's going to pay for it?
Yeah. The middle class. The rich people aren't going to do it. Why? Because they're going to be leaving New York.
Yes. I imagine that what's going to happen is a switch. So it's going to be a mass exodus out of New York for the people who have money, not necessarily brains, but definitely money. And the people who do have brains, they're going to leave. And then all these Muslim people and their ridiculous puppet minions are going to go there. I don't think that the women that are all giddy, okay, I can't wait to see they're crying and whining on their TikToks in what? How long do you think it's going to take? I don't even think it's going to go to Christmas before we start seeing the whining.
Yeah, we have about maybe a month and a half, right? I mean, it's going to get really bad. It's going to get really bad in about 6 months.
Oh, I think so. Absolutely.
He's already telling grocery stores and convenience stores that they're going to start. They have to start removing liquor and gambling tickets and cigarettes and all this other kind of stuff. Like, who the hell? You straight up think you have more power than the president of the United States, Daddy Trump, and you're telling people what they can and cannot freaking sell in their store? Have you lost your living effing mind?
Exactly. That's why I'm like, okay, so you guys voted for this guy. You're all having a party at the bar. Did you see those girls? All these women. Okay, why is it that liberal white women, I think they're probably the dumbest people on the planet. I mean, literally. I mean, if you think about it, and all the TikToks and all of the protests, who's out there being completely stupid? It's them.
It's because they think they're powerful enough to make a difference, but the difference that they're trying to make is not the difference that they're making in their head. It's I don't know where they're talk about a delusional mindset. I think they're trying to accomplish something in a reality that in their delusional head, it's not making that connection. And when they get that kickback from people with common sense and can actually look at something and say, you don't want to go there. They're like, no, let's go.
Exactly. I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, how many of these ridiculous women, I mean, what exactly is attractive about Sharia law? I don't understand. I mean, there is nothing. What are they getting promised? I don't understand what they're getting
free
promised.
housing, like it's the same thing as the Obama phone.
Yeah, but I mean, that to me is not enough. Okay, so what is Sharia law? You can have multiple husbands. I mean, who runs that? Not me. And I don't even see how one man is going to keep up with one woman in America. I'm just saying.
The thought of having multiple women is it's a nice fantasy. It's a nice thought, but
it's hard enough. It's hard enough with one. And I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, one couple without the multiples of other people involved is already a problem. So then you're going to add more problems on top of it. And they're saying, oh, well, they all live in these different houses. Well, whatever, So we got a bunch of deadbeat dads. Can you imagine, though?
How are you paying all those multiple mortgages? Though?
They're not. They're getting living assistance. Okay, but
yeah, that's right. You and I are paying for it.
That's right. But wouldn't this be interesting if they start going after these Muslim men for child support? Oh yeah. Go after them for child support. That would be amazing, because some people have to pay child support like $1,500 or more just for one kid. Can you imagine times 10 kids? Oh, buddy, you better go get a job. Yeah, that's going to be a huge, huge problem for sure. I think, the food banks are already overrun.
Have you seen any reports on the food banks, like videos?
I haven't seen any of the videos because I was busy doing some other stuff. But right before I came on the show, I heard that they're being overrun, and I can only imagine. In fact, I was thinking that they were going to be overrun anyway. And there are some illegals who are self-deporting because they can't get their food stamps and benefits right now.
The system is so messed up.
It's like, well, who knew? All you had to do was turn the faucet off on food, and away they'd go.
In a way, because here's my dilemma with it: is you do have honest people who really truly do need assistance in this country with with food, housing, stuff like that, and that's fine. But for the majority of it, you have so many people taking advantage of a system who are just lazy, selfish. Who literally don't have a care in the world except for themselves. You have people making videos on social media saying it's the taxpayers' duty to pay for my children that I had, and no,
have you seen Muslim men coming on and saying that? I'm like, okay, so they're supposed to be all prideful and have a lot of pride and all this kind of thing. I'm like, so you're coming on line and showing us that basically you are a lazy scumball. And we're supposed to somehow think that's superior to us in some way. I guess I'm just not getting it, because I'm not going to respect that. Here's something that is interesting too. So even if they try to force you to do something, what you always have is your mind. Always. You have your mind. So a person might feel like they're oppressed and have to do this or that or whatever, but they can't force your mind to do something, only you can allow your mind to do something. Don't you agree?
Oh yeah, absolutely. 100%. But they're still trying to find ways to control that. Right. What do you think all of this, shutting down freeways in New York, going down in downtown Times Square, doing these major prayer sessions, like the same thing they do in Dearborn, blasting all this music all over the place, trying to force their religion on other people. It's all psychological warfare. They're trying to get you to believe that this is what the country's going to lead to in the next 10 years. Everyone's going to be under this rule.
Well,
It's all
I
psychological
see
warfare.
it happening in Hillbilly Town. I'm just saying, okay?
No.
And that's basically where I live, is the Hillbilly area. You know, we got Amish people and Mennonites, and they're not going to do that. And then we got the Cowboys who are going to say, and that's what the second A is for. And so, yeah, I'm not thinking that that's going to happen. Now, could it happen in one of the little towns? Maybe. But I do think people in the outer areas are a little bit more awakened than that. His Highness says Allah breaks the 10 commandments, not my God. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the whole Quran thing, if they read all the way through it, they'd find out that that's not gonna.
The Quran is established and predicated on deception and lies, and that it's supposed to be the religion of peace. It's the furthest thing from peace there is. The Bible is predicated and done on truth.
Oh yeah.
So you have one book predicated and completely established as lies and deception and conquering, not going out and preaching the gospel, right? There's nothing about the Bible that says go out and conquer the land and conquer,
it does in some places say that, but here's the reason why it says it. And some people think that it's a little mean to do this, but there are instances where God said to go and conquer the entire area and leave no one, including the animals. And that was it wasn't because God's mean, because God actually understands that if you allow something to infiltrate your society, bing, bing, we're seeing it right now, then it becomes a cancer in that society that grows and grows and grows and grows. So you have to get rid of the whole thing in order to make sure that the ideology is more what I would say, because it's really not the race. It's the ideology is not corrupted by what was before. And that was why the Israelites were wandering around in the desert for 40 years until the last guy dropped off, because God wanted to make sure that none of the Egyptian ways carried over. And I get that. God knows what's going on.
Those were evil, destructive ways, though. It wasn't
exactly.
It's the complete opposite of what the Bible actually stands for. Right? The Quran is literally telling people to go out and conquer. If they don't convert to Islam, then you murder them.
Oh yeah, I played I don't know how many videos yesterday of them saying that. His Highness also says some of the Quran is holy, but see, that's the same thing. Okay, so that I was saying yesterday is that Satan will tell you 99 truths to trip you up on the one lie. And like there's this professor, this Muslim professor going around, and I saw him today, and he's saying, if any Christian, I challenge any Christian to show me where in the Bible Jesus calls himself God, then I will convert to Christianity. I'm like, okay, well, so he's prefacing what he's saying by saying where he calls himself God, where he says, I am God. Okay. If those words aren't in there, he dismisses all the times that Christ, one, accepted the fact that all the people were saying that. And also when he said, I am. Okay. I am. Okay. So there's a lot of instances in the Bible where Christ acknowledged that he was God and that God is a Trinity. Okay. Right. Father, Son, Holy Ghost. So this guy, who's going around there openly challenging Christians, and some Christians are standing up and saying, well, here's where it says, are not saying, well, see, you have a false premise to what you're saying in the first place, because you want the words coming out of Christ's mouth, I am God. Okay. And because it's not written in those exact words, even if it was saying, I am God, you choose something else. So
Right,
we're not even in the same playing field with this guy, because he doesn't play fair, which is exactly, I mean, that you cannot reason with maniacs. You just can't. And that's what these people are. I've already noticed more New York license plates around where I live. I bet
It
you
started.
have.
The mass exodus has started.
Kim is right. The literal scripture is, before Abraham was, I am. That's what Jesus said. Yeah. I just read that this morning, actually, because I was looking up all these things because that guy was saying that. And I was like, oh my gosh, they'll be begging for the police soon instead of defunding them. Speaking of police.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord.
They're being recruited all over the country. And let me tell you, I don't want them to come here. The New York cops. No way.
They can go right. No. Florida, stay out of Florida, stay out of Texas, stay out of
Missouri.
you know where you can go. If you're a police officer in Florida and you want somewhere to go, there's only one place that you can probably go, and that's probably Los Angeles, because Los Angeles is literally hiring illegal aliens to be police officers. They're all for major corruption and tyrannical bullshit.
Oh yeah.
So you're more than welcome to go out there.
For sure. I don't want to have anything to do with any of these people that aren't willing to assimilate to where we are. You think Trump Tower is going to be a mosque? Oh, gosh, I hope not.
Trump is not going to like that.
No. But doesn't he still own that building? Doesn't his family still own that building?
Yes. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't never hear him giving up his property. I mean, sure, yeah, they put it in trust, all that kind of stuff, and he's not taking a salary. I get that, but what did it say? Houston's begging for the New York City cops. We're 1,500 short. Eek. Well,
I come from Texas. I come from Texas.
I know.
Right.
Tyrannical.
I moved to Florida. Right. I moved to Florida from Texas, and I can tell you, Houston, it's a disgusting freaking city. It is far left liberal. It's crazy. So yeah, maybe Houston. Yeah, of course they're going to offer to come out to Houston, because they already know the police officers in New York are corrupt as shit. So yeah, come down to Houston.
Yeah,
you're accepted here.
For sure. I mean, they're definitely. That's why I'm like, wait a minute. The mentality of the New York City cops is not something that I want in my area, not at all. So and what's typical with these officers is they get themselves in trouble wherever they're at. They resign before they can give them a reprimand, and then they go and they apply somewhere else.
Well, see, that's the thing that I don't understand.
Yeah.
Let me break this down. And April, you probably already know this. You're a smart cookie. So look, if a police officer is corrupt, okay, that's given. If they're violating somebody's constitutionally, federally protected rights, that is a federal criminal offense.
I know.
How is it that a police officer can commit a federal offense, be fired, not arrested and thrown in prison, but still hold the ability to go to another county and be hired again as a law enforcement officer when he just committed a federal freaking offense?
Exactly.
How is that even legally possible or constitutional? That's, how scary that is?
Well, it's because the people are so ridiculously, I'd say brain dead, but I don't think it's that. I don't even think that. I think they're just not paying attention. I mean,
I think
on one hand, you want to fund the police. I get that. But on the other hand, you should be saying, I only want to fund the constitutional police.
Well, that would
I
be
don't care about the rest.
But I don't think I don't think there's very many constitutional sheriffs in this land anymore either.
There aren't, and there's no constitutional police. Okay, But my
no.
point is if you're going to take an oath and you're going to be in law enforcement, then it seems to me like the first thing you should know is the Constitution itself. And then you should weigh everything against that. So, I mean, to me, it's so easy to say, how, like putting a cop on the stand, how many hours have you spent on the Constitution, on learning the Constitution? Is the Constitution not part of your oath of office? Is the state Constitution a part of your oath of office?
Well,
do you know anything about the state?
Right. But here's the kicker: is most, and I'm going to say most, and when I say most, I'm going to say probably about 98 to 99% of all police officers and sheriffs, even judges, court clerks, anybody who takes an oath of office, and I'm going to expose this right now. If you look at the federal requirement of what an oath actually states and is mandated to be listed as your oath of office official that you sign off on.
Oh yeah.
When either you become a judge, police officer, court clerk, anybody of significance of holding office, your mayor, your governor, right? You now go look at what they signed. You go do a Freedom of Information Act and you get their actual oath of office that they signed and admitted on the record.
Yeah.
It doesn't say anything like what the federal requirement of it is. You know what that means? That means they're impersonating an officer. Mm-hmm. That's a federal
acting
offense.
Under the color of law, which is Title 18 violation. Right. And you can't. That's the problem. You got a Title 18 violation judge. You got a Title 18 violation attorney, a Title 18 violation cop, and they're all colluding against you to do something ridiculous, like somehow harass you into some kind of a charge that's made up to begin with, making sure that you have a financial problem so that you will hopefully just take a deal.
That's why I say the legal system, the legal justice system is the most criminal organization in the world. Child Protective Services, they're the biggest child trafficking organization in the world. The legal system, the police officers, the judges, they're the biggest criminal organization in the world.
Listen what Sue's saying. So she's on the ballot to be a precinct committee person, which is, somebody who's just over, like if you're a Republican, you're going to be, okay. The oath is optional. Are you seriously kidding me? That's in Illinois.
That is treasonous in its own. That is treason. That's
Illinois. That is Illinois. Can you believe it? I can't believe it.
Wait, who said that?
Should never be optional. Sue. She's in Illinois. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's where we're at right now. Oh, it might be offensive. So you can't do that. You know what? I think I need on my tiara, I need an American flag in rhinestones. I really do. I think I need to commission that. Get a tiara with rhinestones, red, white, and blue. Have a little flag up there and wear it around so I can be as offensive as possible. And I'll just be like, tiara takeover right now. I'll run around. It's a tiara takeover. Do you know the Constitution?
Lord.
Show them off their head.
Off with their head. So you mentioned something a few minutes ago, saying something about police officers. If you don't know the Constitution, if you have no actual constitutional training, why on God's green earth are we giving these police officers a gun and a badge saying, hey, go out and uphold the law? When in reality, they're not upholding the law, they're upholding policy.
Exactly.
Right?
And to me, it's
code
very
enforcement.
It's very dangerous to have low IQ people running around armed.
But that's all they hire because they know that they're we'll just follow orders. That's why they hire military personnel. It's because when they come out of the military, they're more prone to being I will follow orders.
Yeah.
I'm not going to think for my freaking self. I'm not going to go pull someone over without probable cause and I'm going to uphold your Constitution and protected rights. No.
I don't even know how you can have probable cause anyway for someone just driving down the street, whether it's speeding, because that's it's not a constitutional
There is
violation.
none.
I know.
The
That's what I'm
moment-
saying. The only thing would
moment-
be bodily harm or property damage. So I guess if you plow through a crowd, yeah, that's a problem. You've committed bodily harm and property damage. So yeah, I can see that.
So if I'm going 40 and a 30, that's not probable cause to believe I've committed a crime.
No, because it's not a
Right.
crime.
The only crime that has committed was the moment that police officer
Yeah.
turned on his emergency lights when there's no freaking emergency. That's actually a felony.
Yeah. And they do it all day long. And they'll say, well, you know, I saw today a cop dragging out a woman out of her car. She has a valid license. She had changed her purse over, so she forgot to put all of the other stuff in there, including her driver's license, but she had her passport with her. The guy could have run her if he wanted to, which I wouldn't have complied anyway because she didn't commit a crime, and dragged her out and handcuffed her in front of her children and was threatening to tow her vehicle until her husband got there. And they happened to be military people in a different state than where they actually were from. So as he was stationed in a different location, she couldn't go back and renew her driver's license. But the statute actually says that if you're stationed somewhere other than where you were, you get an exemption, and it's still good. I was like, okay, so what part of this thing? Cops are some of the dumbest people. They just might as well just all be low IQ liberal white women. I'm just saying, because
April, I
I'm
love you.
not in that
Oh my
category.
God. I love you, girl. Oh my Lord.
I can say that because I am a woman and I'm not a liberal. So I can say that, you know.
I have a vagina. I can say that.
That's right. So there you go.
So
That's why
So-
the people need to become more involved in politics, especially conservative Christians. Yeah, sure. Yeah, for sure.
So that keeping that same concept, and I wanted to show the audience a video, but keeping that same concept with police officers not knowing the law, right? If you take that same concept and apply it to child protective service social workers, here's what most people and parents are missing, is that when a CPS agent arrives at your home, they are already geared up and prepped up, ready to violate so many federal and state laws. And this is why I'm constantly telling people, we have cameras for a reason. Like,
Yeah.
you've got to be able to protect yourself and gather evidence, right? Because the moment they knock on your door, they're already prepared and told by their supervisors, by the agencies, to do whatever they got to do to get your children in custody. It doesn't matter if they violate federal law, state law, CPS policies and procedures, due process, civil procedure. It doesn't matter. They're violating anything and everything in order to get your child in federal custody,
Now
right? Or state's custody.
I know you brought a video with you. Do you want to play that now?
Yep. So you guys, this video, I posted. Oh God, I posted this on TikTok. Okay, I posted it on TikTok within, I don't know, 5 minutes. It was taken down
What?
for integrity.
Wow.
I then posted it again. Within 2 minutes, it was taken down again. This is how bad TikTok does not want people to have the actual truth being spread. I can't even tell you how many videos I have on TikTok that get taken down. But I posted the same video on Facebook. And on Facebook, for some reason, you can actually tell the truth on Facebook now, right?
Well,
So I
that's
posted it on Facebook, and it's got over 130,000 views. It's got over 5,000 likes. It's going crazy on Facebook right now. And this is the video that I'm just simply telling the people. I'm telling the audience exactly the 100% truth of what CPS is doing when they visit your house. That's all.
Guys, what Child Protective Services doesn't want you to know. Listen, I don't think everybody's understanding how severe the situation really is. I don't think that people actually understand the amount of violations that are taking place when CPS takes a child into custody. Okay, listen, this is not legal advice. I am not a lawyer. This is for educational value only. Okay, so here's the situation. Say, for example, CPS shows up at your house with no warrant, no court order, no probable cause to believe that the child is in actual imminent danger. And yet they show up to your home with police officers. Somebody with a badge and a gun. Now, Child Protective Services, they're showing up to your house for a civil matter, not a criminal matter. And they're using that police officer for intimidation tactics. That's your first criminal offense. Now the police officer and the CPS agent are in conspiracy to violate your federally protected rights. When you have time, take a look at Title 18 U.S. Code subsection 241 and 242. Now let's take that further. Now say the CPS agent says, hey, we have to come into your home and take a look around. Well, she just said they have to. They're making you believe that you have no other choice but to let them in your home. That's called coercion. That's called a Fourth Amendment violation. Well, if you don't let us in, we're going to remove your children. If you don't sign the safety plan, we're going to remove your children. That's coercion, intimidation, threats, extortion, blackmail. That's about 4 or 5 different felonies right there alone. Now the police officer steps in and he says, well, ma'am, I suggest you just cooperate with CPS and let her do her job. Well, now the police officer just committed another crime. The police officer is there for a civil matter. A police officer cannot interject himself into a civil matter. The only time that they can inject themselves into that situation is if that civil matter turned into a criminal matter. So the police officer, using his badge and his gun as an intimidation of making you believe if you don't cooperate, you're going to go to jail. So at this point, you've let them into your home. You've been threatened and coerced and to make you believe that you have to sign a safety plan. Now, the CPS agent wants to take pictures of your child without your consent. They want to take your child into the next room and interrogate your child, saying that you have to do this. Nope, not even close. Now, they want to remove your child because of maybe something your child said that was misconstrued or misunderstood, because your child is a child and your child doesn't know how to explain details like we do as adults. So now they remove your child, they put your child in their vehicle, which may or may not be insured to transport children, and then they transport that child to their office. You guys, that's called kidnapping. They're not just violating your rights, they're violating the child's rights as well. Knowingly and willingly. It's not only kidnapping, but it's false imprisonment. At this point, how many violations have you counted up? State violations, federal violations, violations of due process, violations of CPS policies and procedures. And they're doing all of that because your child is inventory to them. They're doing all of that because they're trafficking your children for federal funding. You guys, these are federal crimes that these people are committing. Federal offenses, violations of the Constitution. Violations of their oath of office. The only way that's going to stop is if they're arrested, charged with treason, and hung. You guys, knowledge is power. Get some.
Power, get some. Yeah, I agree. Oh, I removed the wrong one.
So that's the type of information everybody needs to have when CPS comes to your house.
I know, and they hate that. They hate you knowing. Now you got a book, but you got a book to help people, though.
Yeah.
Do you have it there? Yeah. See, he's got a book that helps everybody with it. Why is it blurring? Okay, there. Do it real slow. Okay, yeah.
It's the constitutional protector against CPS.
Yeah, they hate that book.
This is the number one.
Go ahead.
This is the number one best-selling book in the nation on child protective services. It literally, I cannot even tell you how many people message me, email me, that this book alone, the information has helped them get their children back.
Now
it's nuts.
How can they get that book if they need it? Because I know that there's people, they might not have children at home right now. They might have grandchildren, whatever, or they might have a neighbor. How can they get that book?
Well, there's a couple ways, right? You can go to Amazon. On Amazon, it's $50 on Amazon. You can get it in a couple days. But if you want to order it through me, you can go directly to my website, and order it. Right, it's $35 on my website, and I actually autograph it, and I actually put a gold seal in it. It's my own personal gold seal and identifier. You don't get this when you order this off Amazon, right? It's a gold
Oh yeah,
seal
yeah.
that actually has my symbol on it and everything. So I take the time and I write a little note on there for you. I autograph it. I put that seal on there, and I ship it out to you myself, right? So it's $35 through my website, which is MalibuDallas.com.
I'll put that in
Or
here.
Or go to Amazon and spend $50 on it, and don't get the specialization from it.
Yeah. So I think I have seen over and over and over and over again videos that tell people that are like testimonials to that. So I'm going to add this up here. There. Did I spell it right?
Malibu Dallas. Yep, that's it.
.com. That's the book. Just go there and order it.
You guys, and I'm not a lawyer, guys. I'm not a lawyer. I do not give legal advice. I do not pretend that I can represent people in court. I am a victim of child trafficking from the age of 7 to the age of 15. I can't even tell you how many homes and group homes I was in. I've been starved. I've been molested. I've been raped. I've been tortured. You name it. I went through it as a child. And that's my motivation of trying to help so many parents around this country, is because parents need to wake up and start understanding that knowledge is power. And this government doesn't give two diddly squats about you or your children. It's all made and designed around power, control, and money. If they can rip your child from your arms for federal funding, my God, they're going to do it.
Yeah, for sure. They are going to do it. And I also think now an added layer of protection is being the secured party, of course, but I don't want to go into that right now. But yeah, you guys already know I have books on that. And so the tyranny that we have experienced in our lifetime, we grew up in like this little incubator thing. Like we didn't even know that we were experiencing it.
Nope.
So when we grew up, it was like weird to think that this stuff that we were going through was actually tyranny, and it was our constitutional right to do stuff that they kept telling us we couldn't do. And I'm like, what?
Right.
What? I remember thinking, wait, I got to change my whole mindset. I have to change the way I'm thinking, because if I measure everything against the Constitution, boy, these guys are out of control.
100%. Remember back in the day when we used to ride in the back of trucks?
Oh yeah.
Stay outside until the street lights came on. That was freedom. That was something that you experienced as a child that you don't get anymore because everything's been so regulated, and these new generations are raised to believe that they have to comply with all these new rules and policies and bullshit. It's like, wake up. If you're not harming anybody, if you're not doing anybody any ill will and intent or anything like that.
I remember when you could go outside in a park or wherever, and you could literally sit on the ground, on the grass, and it was like, I don't know, it just smelled fresh and clean. And, you could look up at the sky and see the clouds going by and all this kind of thing. And it's not like that now. It's not like that. I don't even want to sit on the grass because I don't even know what's going on there. You know what I mean?
With all the chemicals that they're spraying out of airplanes and everything nowadays.
Yeah. And I was thinking, now Ralph just said, and you better be home before those street lights come on. Yeah. See, I don't even like being out after dark, and I really like going to nice restaurants. I like sitting by the side, by the window, so you can see all the people passing by, and having a nice meal and talking to my friends and all that kind of stuff. And now it's like, I feel like I'm vulnerable and out there in enemy territory whenever I get past my neighborhood. I mean, my neighborhood happens to be a no trespassing neighborhood. So, I mean, all whatever can't come in here. But, the tyranny is real. And you don't know which person. I mean, you don't, well, in my area, you kind of know that most people are going to be conservative, but you never know when there's going to be that one aggressive liberal that doesn't mind throwing a tyrannical fit in the middle of everyone else aimed at you. The thing is aimed at you because you offended him by what? Being blonde haired and blue eyed or something.
Right. Oh, you said something negative about Mohammed, so now I'm going to like want to kill you. Or I mean, like this is why I won't live in any major city. I won't because you see videos all the time where people are just walking down the street nowadays, and then you see on some kind of like a security camera where people are just getting knocked out and attacked just for walking down the street.
I know. So
because you might be the wrong color, and the wrong color these days is white.
Exactly.
So
I know. Before we go, I do want to talk about this. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Well, I don't know. This is a little light today. I do have bigger crowns. Just saying. I do want to talk about this filibuster thing because the filibuster thing is dumb. Okay. I don't mind them, filibustering and reading green eggs and ham and I don't know, the saga of the Gone with the Wind. I don't know, whatever. I don't mind that, but they're acting like, oh, it's so terrible if we get rid of it for now, because then the Democrats can do this and that. That is such a political game right there. It's stupid because what they could actually do, there's two ways that they could actually fix this problem right now. The Republicans could actually fix it right now. All they would have to do is suspend the rules, and the chairman could do that. They could do a temporary suspension of the filibuster so that it only takes 51 people to pass this government thing if they really want to fund it, which I hope they don't. I mean, states can fund their own stuff, so I'm not for money laundering through the federal government, just saying. But they don't have to keep doing what they're doing. So the whole thing is just like it's just a farce, So the Republicans can actually fix this in a minute.
Question is why aren't they doing it? What's the motivation of not wanting to do it?
Well, I think one of the motivations for me, okay, is the reason I want it to keep being shut down is because it gives Trump more power to get rid of departments that we don't need, people that we don't need. People are self-deporting. Great. The people who are deciding to leave government employment, looking for other jobs, that tells me we've already gone over 30 days.
Oh, yeah.
And we're fine. We're literally fine. No babies.
Some people might be struggling here and there,
Yeah, but they can go to the local
a lot of people
church.
Struggling,
but they're going to the food banks. They're doing alternatives, just like people used to do before government welfare. They're doing the alternatives because people can be resourceful if they're not given handouts all the time.
It's the same thing that we were doing in the 20s and 30s. And like, what did we start doing before all those times? Like before the government started regulating everything. We still survived. We had one of the most iconic economies in the world in the 1920s, in the 1930s, until about what, 1933 or 34, something like that.
Of course, 1933 for sure, because in 1933, that's when FDR made the law that you couldn't use gold or silver. You had to turn it all into the government, and he used the war as a reason. Like, oh, we're in war. You got to support the war effort, so you got to give us all your gold and silver. And so then he also made it so that it was 10 years in prison or a $10,000 fine if you didn't turn it in.
That's when they started implementing taxes in the IRS, right? So, and that was only supposed to be temporary.
Oh yeah, the whole thing was supposed to. That's always what happens, Like over at the Lake of the Ozarks, they have this bridge that's a toll bridge, and they said after the bridge is paid for, we won't have a toll anymore. Guess what?
Same thing they did. I know. It's the same thing they did in Texas. All these toll bridges are like, when it's paid off, you'll never have to do it again. Like,
And
20
people
years
are like,
later, we're still
hooray, because history
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything.
so yeah. So to fix the filibuster, there's got to be an underlining issue in why they're not doing it. You just got to dig deep enough to figure out what's that underlining issue.
Well, I
The government doesn't do stuff just to do stuff, right? They do it for a
Oh, no,
reason,
they-
even if it screws over
Oh,
the
yeah.
American people.
Well, yeah, because that's the main goal, is to get
Right.
more money. Do you think that Congress or COG, what's COG? Am I being dumb?
Apply to the-
Could be applied by the Republicans to stop this infantile shutdown? Well, I just said that they could do it. Maybe the Republicans could benefit from that. Well, see, if the Republicans really wanted to get rid of this thing, because they're saying that if we do this, the filibuster is going to be a thing, blah, 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 blah. Okay. This is what they would have to do. The Senate, some senators going to have to raise a point of order. Then they're going to have to state that there's a certain type of vote, whatever it is, and that there's like a simple majority, whatever it's going to be. So it could be about this, resolution for the budget, just straight normal, whatever. And a simple majority would just be 51. Okay, so then they wouldn't need 60 votes. Then the presiding officer could rule that the point of order is out of order, probably would, because under the current senator rules, cloture, which is ending debate, requires 60 votes. But a senator can immediately appeal that, the ruling of the chair, and then the Senate could vote by a simple majority to put that aside. You see, those are the rules of parliamentary procedure. So they'd have to bring it up, say no, then the Senate would have to vote on it to say yes, and then they could get rid of it. Now, if they wanted to put it back in place, they could do the same thing. Somebody could, continuity of government. Yeah, gotcha. That's what happens when you're tired and people use little
I'm
acronyms.
horrible with acronyms.
I am too. Sometimes I can't, because my list of acronyms is like this long daily. So we were deceived by the word person. But yeah, so they could do that. And then if they wanted the filibuster to keep continuing, they could just put it back in place by a majority vote, which would be 51. So they're just playing games. That's really all they're doing.
I say we just eliminate the entire Congress. We eliminate everything, and
I don't
we
see what
start
they're
from
there
scratch.
for. I really don't see what they're there for. I
Listen,
mean, who's doing
we're
more
running.
job?
Apparently, the federal government is shut down, and we're still functioning. We're still here. Why do why do we even have them?
I know. I don't see the point of it. I don't see the point of the federal government. I mean, Trump's handling the whole thing by himself, pretty much. I mean, isn't he?
We have the federal government because I mean the Constitution is a federal document,
Right. But I mean,
so
if there was an actual thing for them to do, they've taken over so much responsibility that really we didn't need to give them.
right.
At all.
And when Congress was enacted, when the Constitution was enacted and Congress was developed, Congress was it was strictly a volunteer position. It was like a couple of people.
I think it should be.
None of these full-time career people have been in Congress for 40, 50, 30 years who are making $200,000 a year. Then all of a sudden they're worth $200 million. Nancy Pelosi. Right. So there's none of that. It was all done on volunteer basis of people who actually believe in the Constitution, and they would get together maybe once in a while to talk about different issues all over the country.
Exactly. I really think that they should take away their salaries. I think that there should be no salaries for political people whatsoever. I don't care how big the place is. I mean, look at Donald Trump. He's proving right now that you don't need a salary to be in that job.
Well, because he's already rich.
Yeah, exactly. So he didn't have to run. He already had the money. He didn't even have to raise any money. And
he
he
doesn't
still
even
could have
take a
done it.
salary. He doesn't even take a salary.
I know. It's a total farce. It's totally ridiculous. And guess what? This is a wrap. Tiara Takeover on Freedom Friday. We have made it another week. Can you even believe it? And let's see.
We made it. We barely made it by the skin of our teeth.
We did. We did. I don't know what's going to happen next week, but wow, what a drama.
Hey, I still
And
got
you'll be
food in the
back next
fridge. I still
Friday.
got my water. I still got.
Cool. And you'll be back next Friday, right?
I'll be here as long as
All
you
right.
have me. I'll be here.
All right. We'll see everybody back here on Monday.
Thanks for-
Cracks in the dark light breaks through shadows. Hollow hearts finding hope when none follow. Searching for truth in